Dark Skeleton here, and today we're going to be talking about tempo in Hearthstone. Now, what the heck is tempo? Tempo refers to board pressure. Is your board stronger than your opponent's board at any given point in the game? A tempo deck is going to be really good at holding the board position and regaining the board position to gain an edge over your opponent. Whenever you're playing as the reactive player inside of a Hearthstone game, you are at a disadvantage. If at any time you're playing reactively and you don't have the answer to the opponent's cards, then pretty much they're going to get free damage in, they're going to get efficient trades on your minions, and you're going to have a bad time. That's one reason why the classic Control Priest has fallen so out of the meta. By not having the answers at the right time, these fast-paced and tempo decks just absolutely blow out the classic Priest. So today I went ahead and recorded a great match to demonstrate this concept. As soon as it loads, it's going to be Face Hunter versus me as a rogue inside of Arena. Now, I call him a Face Hunter because this hunter really loves to schmork, don't all hunters? Pretty much in Arena, I would admit, if you're playing as a hunter, you do need to play a little bit more aggressive. It's just the nature of the hunter's hero power. And Rogue is really good at controlling the board state because their hero power is a dagger, can stab things, remove minions off the board, and often you can even kill two tiny guys with one dagger, which is pretty crazy for a hero power. Now, the downside to playing a rogue in tempo is, of course, you're going to take a lot of damage to do that. Now, in the end, is it worth it? Does the benefit of playing that tempo style where you sacrifice your resources, you sacrifice your HP in order to maintain the board state, does that win games or does that lose games? Is it better to just go berserk and go for your opponent's face as much as possible to try to rush them down, which is an aggro deck, or do you want to control the board, make efficient use of all your minions, and play on curve as much as possible, which is more of a tempo playstyle? The control playstyle is, of course, going to be more reactive, where you're playing those cards like Brawl that would eliminate most of the board state, but they require you to get to the late game to be effective. So here, you can see immediately, this hunter throws down a Leper Gnome, which is actually pretty good for tempo on his side, but it's also good for aggro, for obvious reasons. If you don't know about the Leper Gnome, does 2 damage as a death rattle, one of the most aggressive cards in the game. If you see that, even in arena mode, you can probably take a good guess that this guy is trying to play aggressively, either that or they had no choice but to draft a Leper Gnome. But as soon as you see their turn 2 throw down an Alec, that's really dangerous for me as the rogue, because firstly, the rogue hero power requires you to actually hit minions and take damage to eliminate them off the board. And secondly, I didn't have a turn 1 play, so I'm already behind. And now on the coin, I have to coin out a 3-drop just to regain the board state. Now, I do want to go for tempo here in this match. There's 2 ways to think about doing this, and one is the Razorfin Hunter, the second is Harvest Golem. With the Razorfin Hunter, I can theoretically clear off both of his minions by losing the Razorfin Hunter in the boar. With the Harvest Golem, I can kill his Leper Gnome and then later on kill his Alec. Now, this does rely upon him not killing me too fast, because Harvest Golem is a slower play. In a way, Harvest Golem is a slow play. It's more control than it is tempo, because for him to really gain the effectiveness of eliminating 2 or 3 minions on the board, it actually takes a few turns. Cards that are really strong for tempo, like Flame Waker, whenever you play a spell, deal 2 damage randomly, that is more of a quick tempo play, and you see tempo mages do that all the time. It's hard to regain the board against a tempo mage, because they'll just knock you right off the board really quickly with their spells and their Flame Wakers. But he continually goes for face, because this is the Smork Hunter, this is the Face Hunter. So by going face, he's going to eventually lose out on trades. For instance, at the next turn he plays something and goes face, I can trade my 2/1 Harvest Golem into his Alec, which would mean that 1 minion got 2 minions, and then I remain with a 2/1 on top of that. Another play I can make that's strong for tempo is the Dark Iron Dwarf here, now that he's played a 3/3 Spider. Making a 1/1 trade into a 3/3 is pretty efficient. But you do see the danger of playing Rogue. I haven't even been able to hero power. If I had used my hero power, I would probably be almost stat already. And that's why I haven't been. Yeah, when people play an aggressive start, you have to regain the board state. You have to regain the tempo as fast as possible, especially against a hunter. This is basically how you lose to hunters in ladder too. If they're playing face hunter, you either stop them really quickly or they're going to kill you really quickly. Now, why did I take so much damage in the early game? And that's because he had a strong early tempo play. And now I'm at 13 HP, which is super dangerous. He's going to keep going face, of course. I mean, rush me down, why not? He already saw I had a Full Reaper 9000, and you don't mess with that. You can't outboard control a Full Reaper 9000. The only thing you can really do is either remove it, or to kill them before it actually gets played. But here you're going to see, when I regain the board state, he doesn't have that many options for dealing damage to me anymore. Yes, he has his hero power, and theoretically he could have something else in his hand, but look at how much damage I have on the field. If he doesn't play anything, he's going to be taking 2, 6, 8, 10 minimum damage to the face per turn. With his hero power, he's going to be doing 2 damage to me. So by having a board that is much stronger than his non-existent board, it gives me the tempo play. It lets me deal a lot of damage to him at any time. It also gives me the ability to make efficient trades here. So, you see he plays a Reckless Rocketeer thinking he'll have lethal on me next turn. Refreshment Fender does save my butt here. But I can choose my trades, because I have the initiative, I have the tempo, so that Reckless Rocketeer dies to a Divine Shield, which is sad. But by putting myself at 6 HP now, and him having no board state, no tempo whatsoever. In fact, his tempo is completely gone. Unless he has another charge minion, he can't really do anything. I can always make trades into his minion. He really has no way to push for damage anymore. And in fact, I have a lot of ways to push for damage. Actually, if you look at things, with the Tinker Sharpsword Oil, I do have lethal next turn. So, if you look at the course of this game, yes, he had a lot of damage early on, but by me coming back and controlling his board, regaining tempo, I'm now able to put a lot more pressure on him. And this actually puts him in the danger zone. It forces him to respond with a multi-shot. And this is one of the problems with reactive plays, actually. Let me pause it and go ahead and talk about this multi-shot play in detail. He had no board state and he played a spell to remove my minions reactively. That is a very weak play and is one of the reasons that a lot of non-Dragon Priest decks do so weakly. If you're playing reactively against an opponent's board state and you don't have the perfect answer, you're going to fall behind. It's not really going to regain you anything. At best, you'll equalize the board. And that's the best case scenario. Anything besides that, and you're going to be screwed. In this case, yeah, he damaged one of my minions and killed another one, but that doesn't matter because I still have 4 minions left on the board. If he had like a Consecration, wouldn't have mattered because I would still have most of my board left and I can replay more minions and still push for damage. So reactive spell plays are actually not so strong when you're this far behind. That's why tempo is so important, and tempo decks often are better than control decks, especially in the current aggressive constructed meta. And the end result of him making a reactive play off of a failed aggression is that I have a board state that has nothing to contest with, and the ability to push for a massive amount of damage with the Tinker Sharpsword Oil play. So here, assuming that the Tinker Sharpsword Oil doesn't arrive on the new minion that doesn't have the ability to attack at this turn, I have lethal. And I got it, so he's dead. Despite being a face hunter going face all the time, he loses simply because of tempo and board control. So I've been Dark Skeleton. I really hope that helps you guys understand the importance of tempo and board control within Hearthstone. It is so fundamental to the game, especially in Constructed. Good luck with your games, and I'll see you in my next video.